Here's the Yom Yom. Let's do yesterday's also. I don't remember if I did this yesterday. Okay, but it's good. You can do it the same one every
I
day.
think you did. I think you did it yesterday.
About love, loving God.
I believe you did it. I think so.
Okay, anyway, I'll do it again. Not important. No problem.
All right.
If I forgot, it means that I didn't internalize it. The first Rebbe of Chabad, he repeated what the Maggid of Mezrich, his teacher, said, and that his teacher was quoting the Baal Shem Tov. Loving your neighbor as yourself. Ahavta l'recha kamocha. The commandment is to love a Jew. You're supposed to love everybody, but the commandment is you have to love a Jew. Why, especially a Jew? The Jews are called the sons of God. This is an interpretation. Love your fellow as yourself. This is really just an outcome, an interpretation of loving God. Loving God, how does loving God, what does that have to do with loving my fellow man? I have 1,000 reasons to love God. God creates me, God protects me, God gives me my eyes, He gives me my health. My whole life depends on God. Of course, why shouldn't I love God? God gives me everything I have, which is not the case. My next door neighbor, why should I love him? He drives on my lawn. He yells at me in the nighttime for no reason. He cuts off my electricity. He doesn't say good morning to me in the morning. I'm just making this up. My next door neighbor is really a pretty nice guy, right? Why? I have 100 reasons why and even if I do love my next door neighbor, I can't love him like I love God. I mean, my next door neighbor doesn't create me. He doesn't give me my eyes, my ear. So he says, listen, don't go overboard. The fact is loving God you can do because it's theoretic. The theory, oh, of course I love God. He does so much. Loving your fellow Jew loves God. Why? Exactly for that reason. Loving God, you have a lot of good reasons. Loving another Jew, you have no reason. A lot of times there's no reason. There's people you don't like at all. But the fact of the matter is every Jew has a part of God inside of him. God is creating that guy. He's creating him. I don't like him, but it means if I reject that person, I'm rejecting what God is creating. Therefore, when a person loves a Jew, then every Jew is a part of God. It says, Chelik Hashem Amo, every Jew is the son of God. Then by loving every Jew, you're really loving the godliness inside of that Jew. Okay, if I didn't say yesterday, it was worth repeating. I did say it, I'm sorry, it was worth repeating. Now, today, it says that when you learn the Torah, this is in this week's Torah portion. It says that when you learn the Torah, you're supposed to speak the words of Torah all the time. When you sit down, it says when you raise up, when you go to sleep, when you awaken, it says there's many levels, and this is like this. It says when you're sitting at home, when you're walking on the way, when you lay down, and when you wake up. What does this refer to in Chassidut? When you're sitting at home, that refers to the soul learning Torah before it comes into the world. It's at home, the soul's up there in soul land. Then after that, it says when you're sitting at home, when you're walking in the way. This refers when the soul comes down into the world from level to level until finally comes down to this world to be in a physical body. That's what's called walking in the way. You're walking in the world. You have things that you have to do in the world. You have to move. You have to be in the world. You're not, so to speak, at home. And that until you lay down. When does it lay down? When a person dies. When a person's time comes, then also the Torah protects him. So before you're born, you learn Torah. When you're in the world, you're supposed to learn Torah. When a person dies, as the Torah then protects him. And also when you raise up, it says when you lay down, when you raise up, that's talking about when you awaken, then that's talking about the raising of the dead. The raising of the dead is also in the merit of the Torah that you learn. As we'll talk about more, God willing, tomorrow. And now a story. One second.